Mm-hmm.
Would you also take that into account if you were studying, say, that specific village or
A-
culture?
Absolutely, yes. That would actually be precisely the kind of thing we were interested in. Okay.
I think I will add that I'm of Mexican descent, and when I've talked to my dad about he immigrated to the U.S. In the early 70s, and when I've talked to him about racism, the thing that he always says to me is, I had it a lot worse in Mexico because he's darker skinned,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so. You know, when he would go to he was from like one of the more rural areas in Mexico, and when he would go up to the city, people would not treat him the same way that they would treat someone who's from the neighboring state of Jalisco, which had more Spanish settlers, right, in that area, and so there are lighter skinned Mexicans, you know, in that state of Mexico. And so he was saying, you know, it was far worse there. And I don't know if that necessarily gets more at the issue of classism verging on racism, you know, or, but definitely I think touches on this issue of skin tone
Mm-hmm.
and the inequities that may result even within groups, right?
Mhm.
If you consider in this case Mexicans a group, that
Mhm.
within that group that there may be even discriminatory practices there.
So one reason why I think it's so exciting to be doing this work right now is because there are domestic and global sort of transitions happening in terms of racialization and ethnicization, and thinking about what does it mean, what counts as difference. And elements of difference are context specific. So there are some elements that are tied to his experience in Mexico, some that are specific to his experiences in the United States. And the question for me is, what are the elements that are universal? Or are there elements that are universal also, right, in all of those matter? And I would just plug Gilbert G. He's doing some work looking just at that question in Asia right now, trying to understand people's experiences in various countries in Asia, and following those who then migrate to the U.S. and become U.S. residents, to understand how that racialization process happens across time and across globalization. Well, thank you.